Now, if he witnessed this here, and this here actually happened, why didn't he call the police at that moment in time? Why didn't he ring the police at that moment in time and state to the police that I am endangering a child? I know this didn't happen. I know this is false information. And I know it's lies to try and endanger me and endanger my life. He's also stated too that there was two 13-year-old children sitting outside or standing outside the back of my house, and I was apparently what you would call grooming them to bring them into my property. I was apparently going to say to them that I'm going to make them famous. I'm safe keeping them to bring them into my property, luring them, is what the word is. I can deny that this is basically false information. This is completely allegations at a severe level. I have never once brought a child into my property. I have had children in my house, but the children that are in my house, their parents have been in the house with them. They've been there present while the children's been there. If there is children in my house, they're generally going up into the living room, so they do, and they normally playing on Xbox, because the producers or the people that are around me are producing in the studio with me, and I'm nowhere near the children. I'm in the studio with the producers. That's the only time that would ever happen, and that's very, very rare. There's children in my house. I have an over 18 limit on my age of the studio, so I do. So there's only over 18.
Just ask, Stephen.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you have CCTV covering the outside and the inside of your property?
Yeah, I have CCTV covering the whole property from the inside the property to outside the property. Now, this person, this male, has stated too that I assaulted this female. I would like to state that that is completely lies. I've never lifted a hand to a female, never mind a male. I've been in some of the most heated arguments, some of the most heated situations, and I still am very, very, I can control my anger. I can control my, aggression to a severe level. It doesn't mean that I would maybe shout or there would be a lot of, commotion and breaking down and stuff, but there's definitely no violence in me. I have never once reacted in a violent way towards anybody. I did one time, I basically assaulted a person down in a place where I used to live, but it was because he was a convicted paedophile, and there was log proof to prove that there, to back that up, and I asked for him to be moved out of this supported living that I was supposed to be in there getting help for, to try and overcome my past and get back into society. So that was the only thing that was basically against me throughout my life. I have never been charged for that there. The charges were dropped, so they were. But on that there, I've never been involved with the law. I've never been involved with the system. So I haven't. I would also like to state that this meal that was over in my house, me and him were planning to open a cafe, open a restaurant in the property. I put a lot of money into that restaurant, a lot of money into building this facility. So I did. I felt like he was getting lazy towards the work that was going on in the place that I was asking him to do. So I did. I thought nothing of it at the time when it was happening. I thought that it was going to be I was just maybe going for a phrase, and it was it. I would like to go back into the female and target that there for the next 2 or 3 minutes, and then jump back into this meal. Basically, between me and the female, I had told her that I was decoying. I told her I was working at this here work of being a decoy. I was doing this here one particular night that she was here, and I went up into my room and I was decoying. What I mean by decoying, I was basically on fake accounts posing as a child and waiting for predators to come and chat. That's what decoying is. It's basically, we do not entrap them; they come to us. So so I was decoying to this here predator. So I was, and I came back down the stairs. She was aware of this here. She was aware of this here. I came back down the stairs, and I literally, all I can remember from this incident is she tried to get me to do sexual stuff to her. At that moment in time, my head went like, it went bad. So it did. I felt like she was, at that moment in time, I can't say if this is true, but at that moment in time, I felt like she was trying to get me to engage sexually over a chat log that I had just done with a decoy. Now, I can't state that there's the facts at her end of what she was trying to do, but that's what it felt like to me. So it was, because I had made her aware that I was decoying, and then she, when I came down and I said to her that I was basically done doing it, she tried to get me to do sexual stuff to her. Now, she was aware that my brain can't just switch off from one thing to another. I need time to close myself down from what I was going through there with that chat log, and to be able to like just get back to normal life, get back into normal things. This person also knew that I wasn't involved in a sexual relationship with her. So the reason that I feel that she has made this here so obvious, why she was trying to get me basically to do sexual stuff over this chat log, is because she knew that I wasn't involved in a sexual relationship with her. So she was testing me. I then basically had stated to her that I'm not engaged in here. I'm not, basically, I don't want to go down this road. My brains just came down from what I've went through. I'm not looking to get engaged with this. So I basically refused to give her this sexual time or sexual thing that she was looking. She then took what I would know as basically a huff towards me. And she acted out really, really bad towards me. In the sense it's like she took a huff. So she did. I then felt at that moment in time, like if she's not going to understand my rights and my point of view and my decision and what I do with my life, I don't want to continue this relationship. So I did. So I basically stated that clearly to her. She then was blabbering a few words. I can't exactly remember what she was saying, but she was just basically going off in one. So she was. I went up towards the toilet in the 1, 2, 3, and the third floor. I went up towards the toilet in the third floor. I came back down. So I did from there, and I told her to leave my house. I ended the relationship, and I told her to leave my house. I basically stated to her that, look, I can't go on like this here. I can't go on with the argument and the hate and the tension. Basically, I just can't do it. So I asked her to leave my property. I let her stay that night, and she left the next morning. During that period of that night, of that incident happening, and the next morning, she tried to act all friendly towards me, to try and, I assume, to try and get me to go back on my word. I refused to, and she basically left. So this time, this person, this female, had left. This male was still living in my house. Now, my mental health had basically been kicked in the head. So it fell. I then came back up the stairs, so it did, that next morning, and went into the living room where this male was staying, sleeping. This living room, I could only describe to you the smell of him and the BO that was smelled within this room. It whacked me in the face. It literally hit me in the face. I felt like I opened the friggin' tin of tuna fish, and like, I'm allergic to tuna fish, but I felt like I opened the tin of tuna fish and I got smacked with that smell. That's what this room smelled like. I asked him very politely, would he basically get his clothes washed and get this room cleaned up, because it's my room, it's my facility. I need it for the public. I need it for like people that's coming in to record to the studio, and I just want to have a clean environment around me. He's turned around and said that he would, but he hesitated with me at that moment in time. He was like, well, there's no public coming in here, there's no nothing, and like, where's the public and all this here? And he started going, I basically said to him, it doesn't matter if there's public coming in here or not. I need the room cleaned. I need the room because it's going to be used. So I persistently said to him that this room was going to get used. He said he would do it. So I went into my bedroom, which is literally next door. I went into my bedroom and I went and lay down for a bit. So that I woke up to him being on TikTok and being down at the beach. I then confronted him. So that, because I woke up, seen him on TikTok, I came into the room, nothing had changed. His clothes were still sitting in here, the smell of the room was still there. I then confronted him on TikTok. I called him out. I basically said to him, what's going on here? And then I rang him on WhatsApp. So I did on personal number, and I had a conversation with him, and he took the huff with me over the phone call. I then stated to him that I was going to move all his belongings, these clothes and stuff, I was going to move them onto the top floor of the house where the nightclub is, the DJ facility, because it doesn't get used, it's not really getting used. So I said, like, I'm going to move them up there till I can get it permanently sorted. So I moved all his clothes up, put gloves on and stuff, and moved all his clothes up onto the top floor. Now, I cleaned this whole house. So I cleaned this living room, I cleaned the hallway, the bathrooms, my bedroom, the back room that the female was staying in, down the stairs, the kitchen and the recording studio, and the booth. I cleaned all them places. I then went to basically sleep. So that I went into my bedroom and went to sleep. So that I think I dressed Jaden. So that I got him dressed and stuff and brand new clothes on him, and then I went basically to sleep. So I did, just to try and relax me and take my mind off certain stuff. I then heard him coming back at about 11:30, 12 o'clock to my property. He went straight up the hallway and went into the living room and went to sleep. So he did. That next morning, I saw him taking his belongings out of my house via the CCTV cameras, via all the cameras throughout the property. I saw him taking his belongings out of my house. He took about 90% of his belongings when he left. I didn't go out to him. I didn't speak to him. I didn't basically approach him at this moment in time because I felt that it could raise the tension. It could raise the tension between me and him. And I didn't want to get into an argument and then potentially leading to violence. So I felt it was best for me to pull myself away from the situation and stay in my bedroom. And that's what exactly I done. I still had eyes on him during this period through the CCTV cameras. He then left my house. So he did, in his van. He left my house and he left all my doors open in my property, which could have led to somebody robbing this place or attacking this place. But anyway, I went downstairs. I closed all the doors up. So I did. I locked the property up. So I did. And I basically locked the back gates and stuff and all up in the property. In the mindset that if he was to come back here, I'd be classing that as he was going to attack me for my safety. So I I was always at this moment in time trying to de-escalate the situation and trying to keep the situation under control, even though it could have erupted at any moment. He went away and I then confronted him on text messages and WhatsApp. So I did. I asked him basically about everything that was going on. He'd done nothing but being twisted to me in the text messages. He twisted everything back on me. He stated that I assaulted Lisa on them text messages. He stated that I basically I done stuff. So he did. He stated that he was going to come for me. He was going to basically attack me. I would like to make this very clear that these messages that he was sending to me, even though I perceived them as threats, they are not threatening messages. In the eyes of the law, they are not threatening messages. I only knew that recently, so I did. So even though I seen it as a threat towards me, they are not threatening messages. He then made instigations that he was outside my property. He made instigations that basically he was going to do me in. So he did, saying stuff that was very, very, what I deem as threatening over text. I then basically just blocked, after the police had consulted with me, and the police had turned around and said for me to block the users, I blocked them. I took the police's advice and I went through with it and I just blocked them. I then let it lie for a week. So it did, and stuff started circulating on the internet. I started getting people messaging me. I started getting people texting me. I started seeing screenshots and screen recordings. So I did, from people, that these people were live and they were saying stuff about me. Now, the stuff that they were saying about me, they were deeming me out as some kind of person that was a predator, a paedophile, a rapist, a child molester, a person that lures women into my house and does stuff to them in their sleep while they're drugged up. They basically said stuff that I'm not allowed into the shop across the road from me because I'm basically, they know me as one of these people. That has never happened. The reason why I didn't go back into the shop again is because I had a disagreement with the owner in the shop around COVID time. So I had a small disagreement and I fell out with the owner. So I did. And actually the owner has said hi to me in recent months, so she has. But I'm not barred from the shop. I'm not, I can go in there if I want. So they were online basically saying all this false information that pedos out was sprayed on my side of my wall, and I was out seeing 15 minutes later rubbing it off. This has never happened, and if it did happen, I think I would have got a kicking. So it would have, but it's never happened, and I can clarify that's never happened. I totally believe what these people are doing is out of the spite. It's because they didn't get their way with me. It's because they didn't get their way with me in my house. And I think they, if anything, looking back on it, they took advantage of me. I'm not really fussed about it in that area, but I think that there's what's happened. I would believe that they have basically abused me to some degree. Not in a sexual way, but abused my kindness. I would like
It's mental abuse.
Yeah. I would also like
And now it's started to become physical because other people are getting involved to a point where you are now having death threats, you're now having this stuff plastered around your area, when the fact of the matter is...
Over there. Get back.
What can I say? Basically, what I've seen between you and said person and you and said man, that they have manipulated you, and then you've trusted said woman about your trauma past, and that is where people then start to judge you, and they're judging you because you're cool. If you actually look
Your internet's cutting.
Could pick up on help.
Your internet's cutting.
Not all people that, but other people as well that are after go. So why has nobody shown this evidence on TikTok? Because clearly, whatever has happened, these two malicious people are clearly trying to go for this person, and it's not going to work because we've done all the digging, all the information that we've needed to on this person in the box, and guaranteed everything. So if you want to sit there and judge somebody, I'd say to you, research, but judging somebody because they have a comfort. There is people out there in the world that go to drugs, go to drink. They go to other procedures, just lives. So why can't this person have a without people? Jamel, his son. In his eyes, that is his son. Do your research before you start judging people. Because at the end of the day, until you know your facts, don't judge somebody on other people's sakes, especially if you ain't got the evidence to stand.
I would also like to now throw in this situation. I've been accused of RAPE on 4 women that apparently woke up in nappies in my house, and I apparently drugged them. Now, these women have apparently came forward with logging information to the police. Now, if this was true, and this crime reference number that was blasted on social media about me, if this was true, the police had stated to me face to face that they would have been there to seize my devices. After the whole thing and that crime reference number came to surface, right 2 days after, my house was searched for firearms. So the police came out and they banged my door. So they did. And then a second, sorry, I'm drinking, like I said, it's making me reflux. About 3 hours later, the police came back to my property again. They got me on a phone call and got back to my property. They said to me that they needed into my property to search my property for firearms. I was okay with that. I brought the police in and they searched my whole property from top to bottom. They found no firearms in my house whatsoever. I then said to them about this crime reference number. I said, I'm being told that this crime reference number at surface on the internet is basically one of the victims that I apparently RAPE'd has came forward. The police had turned around and said to me, if that crime reference number was anything to do with that, your devices, your phones, everything would be seized and you would be arrested and brought down to the local police station. So the police officer basically made it look to me in my head that that crime reference number was in relation to these firearms 2 days later, which would make sense. So they have reported that there's firearms. I don't know who reported it, but I have a fair idea that's coming from 2 precise people. They basically reported that there's firearms in my house. Now, that has then struck them to come and search my property. So that crime reference number that they're waving over social media isn't anything to do with any of the victims or any of these so-called victims that apparently came forward. I would like to also state that I can't have sex. So I can't physically have sex. I don't want to go into detail because it's a very confidential thing and it's actually a legal matter and I cannot go into detail with it. But all I am stating to you now is that I cannot have sex or I cannot have sexual intercourse. So I can't. And I have never have done. So for me to have an allegation that got there fired against me, that I've apparently RAP'd people and they've woke up with nappies on and I've done sexual stuff to children and stuff, it actually breaks me inside. It makes me feel sick. It makes me feel disgusted. So it does. I would like to also then go down the roads of stating that these victims that apparently have been in my house haven't. I don't know of there's only one person that I know has been in my house. So there has, and that's the so-called person that's a female that I've had a relationship with. I would also then like to go on further to state that this is horrendous what they're doing. It's a form of cyberbullying. It's a form of abuse, and it's a severe level of abuse towards me. So it is. I believe that they are intentionally doing this out of despite because they didn't get their way with me. I'm not here to change anybody's thoughts. I'm not here to change anybody's mindset. I'm not here to, I'm not even here to basically stand up and defend myself. I'm here just stating my side of the story and my side of what I've seen is happening, and just basically saying the truth from what I can see was the truth. So now the stuff that they have said that is true is Jaden, the baby room, the nappies, and the regression. They're the 4 things that they have stated as true. Now, we have medical records and we have medical papers here stating that all that there was put into my life to help me to be able to grow up with my mental health, or to get basically a grip off my mental health, which it has done. The likes of certain media accounts on this platform that is using my face, my identity, my imagery, and making allegations and making severe threats is absolutely foul and disgusting. What yous are doing. Yous are cyberbullying me to the highest degree, and it will not be tolerated. Yous will be going to court. Yous will be going through the process. I will be getting this dealt with in a very, very high level. I am not standing for it. I am not going to be sitting tolerating it. I think it's complete abuse towards me and a direct attempt because somebody didn't get their way with me. I feel that it's disgusting, and this platform needs to change in so many ways and so many levels. I've had amazing people around me in this process of all this happening. I've had people that's been investigating, searching, scanning. They've been trying to find my name on any criminal record or any area. Apparently I changed my name by this male that was staying in my house. I changed my name to from Jonathan Foster to Danny Masseline. The reason why I changed my name, the exact reason why I changed my name, was because I wanted to disown the family. So I wanted to disown the family name, and that was a personal choice of my own. I did not disown it, or I did not change my name because I was a convicted paedophile, which is what they're claiming. I think, in theoretically terms, it would have been around the whole of Northern Ireland if that was the case. It would have been all over the streets because I'm a very hard person to hide. I've got face tattoos all over my face. I couldn't hide. There's no way I could hide my identity if that was true. I would like to further state that he is basically using every single piece of information and twisting it on social media and on social media platforms to try and make me look like I'm something I'm not. I believe that there's been done because he didn't get his way with me. I would also like to state that the threats that have came through to me are disgusting. They're foul. And they will be getting dealt with in due course time. I am going to be taking it down a legal road and legal procedure. I will be getting it dealt with. As I think being real and being honest with it, I think it's more a case that this shouldn't be allowed on the platform. That shouldn't be allowed to get this far. TikTok has a lot to answer for in regards to this here happening. But the people need to be held accountable that are making these allegations need to be held accountable. If I'm such a predator and a convicted paedophile and a sorry, my life's asked me to certify it. Sorry, my life's asked me to certify it there. If I'm such this person that they're claiming that I was, why didn't they call the police when they were in my house? Why didn't they report these incidents when they were in my house? Why didn't they, alert the police when they were here? Why did they wait till they go back over to the mainland and basically try and out me? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. So there is, in hindsight of it all. But in my mind and my theoretical side of it and the view of it, I have done nothing illegal. I've done nothing illegal whatsoever. It's not illegal to have a baby room. It's not illegal to have a virtual baby. It's not illegal to wear nappies for coping mechanism of comfort. And that's exactly what they are. They're a coping mechanism. It's a comfort. It's just the exact same as somebody using a vape machine or somebody taking cannabis to get them through their day. It's just a coping mechanism, and we all have coping mechanisms too. The same as the tattoos are for me. It's a coping mechanism for self-harming. That's exactly what that is. I'm not hiding behind this tattoos on my face. It's more for SHing. It's more for me to basically get my release so I can get over that stage of my life. I also would like to state it clear that the person that has made these allegations against me, that about the virtual baby that I have, which is true, and the nappies that I have, which is true, I would like to state that this person was the instigator of actually opening up the conversation of this. They stated to me that they had a reborn doll. Now, a reborn doll is totally different from a virtual baby. A reborn doll is something that is used to basically help grieving mothers of a loss of a child. A virtual baby is more used for therapeutic treatment or for somebody that is, like, they give them to people in nursing homes, they give them to people in schools to try and scare school children, to put them off from having children, to gain them responsibility. They use them for a lot of different things. They're a big piece of technology, so they are. And sorry, it's saying the visibility is restricted on my life. These babies are basically used for a lot of different things. The only way you can get these babies is through a company called Really Care, and they will give them to the likes of a third party organisation, the likes of mental health, the likes of a school, the likes of some social services or social workers or something. They will give them to third party. As of yet, I don't think you can go on and directly buy them off them. You can buy reborn dolls, which is what this person that I was in a relationship has. Now, she instigated on this text message that she wears nappies. So she did. She instigated on this text message. After I showed her the baby room in my house, she instigated straight away that she wears nappies. And she sent me a picture of a packet of baby nappies. Now, there's been people witness them screenshots, and people can confirm that them screenshots are true. I feel, being real, I feel like she's trying to call me out because I have information on her. Now, I do not fight fire with fire. So I'm not going to basically attack a person for no reason. And I would never attack her anyway. because it's just a disgusting thing to do. And that's not in my nature, that's not in my mindset to do that. It's basically, it would be just scum of me to do something like that. It'd be wrong for me to do something like that. So it would. I would feel that if I was to retaliate by going at her for this here, because she might have mental health issues, she might have issues in around her mental health, I don't know. But if I did do that there, I feel like I'd be basically the lowest of the lowest. So for that reason, I will not be doing that. But I would like to state very clearly that this person that's calling me out for having a virtual baby, having baby room in my house, has basically got the same in theirs. I just don't understand to the level. I think, being real, that this male and this female are going together. The way he talks to her on messages, the way he talks to her on live, is a lot more than a friendship. They were only here for around 2.5 months at max. They were only here for 2.5 months. I would also like to state that in them 2.5 months, I actually had a really good time with this female. At the beginning, right up to nearly the end of when she asked me to do this sexual stuff to her. I would like to also state down the road that, because I also felt that maybe I wasn't giving her enough attention, that maybe that set an argument off between me and her, and this is what's led to me refusing to do sexual stuff to her, because I wasn't giving her enough attention, because I lack sexually in my body. So I lack that sexual hormone or whatever it's called. I lack it in my body, and it's not there. So I didn't look at this person as I wanted to do stuff to her. I wanted to basically have sex with her. I didn't look at her in that way. So it was more for me being real. If anything, it was more in a sense of a friendship. And I think, being honest with it, I think it was more comfort and a person that I could actually trust, and I could trust with my information, and, you know, hopefully settle down with it long term. With these allegations that came out, I'm absolutely disgusted that my information has been blasted out into the social media, especially in regards with Jaden and in regards with the baby room and the regression stuff. I have nothing to fear. I have nothing to hide from that. I know it's basically to do with my past and to do with my mental health. It's nothing for me to be ashamed of. People are making it out to be something wrong and something that's disgusting and vile. And it's not. It's a coping mechanism. It's something that enables me to be able to get through my life. Now, in regards to them saying that I basically use my Safeguarding the Innocent page to lure women and get them to do sexual stuff to me, I would like to state that that has never been the case. That has never been anywhere near the case. And I would never use my page or my page for that in any way. I would also like to state that the regression, I was potentially at one stage of my life, a way back years ago, I was looking for a person to act as a carer towards me. So to act as like a mother figure towards me in my life. This was to be a non-sexual thing. It was basically for me to regress back to being a child and make it more real in my mind. It was nothing to be endangering the person. It was nothing to be endangering me. It was more of a therapy. It was more for treatment in regards to me getting my childhood back and to be able to like get some kind of relief and relievement in regards to me having my childhood. It was more for therapy. It was more Like, so for me to basically go and play with like toys with Jaden, to basically like watch cartoons, and somebody to be able to act as a mother to coach me to doing that. It wasn't anything that was regarding to a sexual nature. I would also like to state that my page was being very successful. The comments, the people that came to me in confidence. We did look at a lot of cases in that page. That information has never been leaked. That information has never went any further than where it's went to. There's people claiming that they're part of my page, that they were a part of my team, and they weren't. There was one incident where we did expose a predator, a male, and I have brought them onto the page basically to do a live stream, because I couldn't attend the protest, or I couldn't attend the live thing. I brought them onto the page to live stream it, basically live stream this thing, or the protest, so it would get awareness. I then removed that person from the page, so that, but they were not part of our team. They were not part of anything to do with us. They were just a person that was attending that protest, and I asked them nicely, could they basically stand up and live stream it onto our page, and you know, they said yes, they appreciated it, they accepted it. So there's people running around saying that they were a part of our team when they weren't. So there's people saying that I'm luring people off the Safeguarding Innocent page, and I'm not. The information that people send to us in there is treated with strict confidence and confidential. We literally, if we share between the group members in our team, so we do, and then group members do not breach any, like the GDPR of that their page, they do not breach that. If there is a danger, and we do feel there's a danger, it would be forwarded onto the appropriate authorities, the police. These people that have been involved with making these allegations, somewhere down the chain, they are ringing ambulances, they're ringing police, they're ringing emergency services, and they're getting emergency services out to my house, saying that I'm going to do myself in. I've had numerous phone calls from the ambulance services stating this. Yous are wasting medical resources, yous are wasting ambulances' times, you're really wasting police's time. Sorry, tongue twisters. You're wasting this services that could be used for saving real lives. I would also then like to go on to the fact of this account of Ian Carson. This account, basically Ian Carson, I was lying in my bed and I got a phone call from a mate of mine asking me was I okay. I didn't know anything at this moment in time. I was lying in bed sleeping. This number came through on a withheld number, and I answered the phone, and then I realised it was my mate. He was asking me was I okay, and I turned around and said yeah. Why? What's going on? He then went on further to state that there's been an account put up that states I've unalived myself. I would like to state that is absolutely foul what you have done, and disgusting. You've caused alarm to every single person in my circle. You've literally, the amount of stuff that happened in around that there, and what went on there was absolutely no call for it. A lot of people got into distress. A lot of people were messaging me flat out. Then they went further on to state that I basically created this profile, that I set this profile up. I can reassure you now that I have never set up an account called Ian Carson, and I have never opened an account called Ian Carson. It is nothing that I would, like, it's sick and twisted, and it's nothing I would ever do. It's vile, it's disgusting. I have 2 accounts on my phone, and I have a third account that's basically account that I just basically use for like gifting people. So I do. None of them accounts is underneath the name of Ian Carson. I don't even know who this account is or who would be behind this. I don't know. But it's something to do with the closer in circle of these people. I believe at my end, from my perspective and what I can see, that this account was set up to try and keep the drama going. Because it was dying down, and it was basically, they set up to try and keep the drama going. So whoever who was behind it had a fair idea of what they were doing. They had a fair idea of what their aim was for it, and they had a fair idea of where they were leading it to. I just think that the actions that you are doing, meaning use the people that are involved in this, is absolutely vile and disgusting. There's absolutely no evidence on Google. There's no evidence on my police checks. There's no evidence on Clare Law. There's no evidence on any platform whatsoever to state that I have done anything of the sort of what you are saying. I'm only here stating my behalf of the story. And that's basically all I have to say. Does James or 50, do you want to say anything in regards to this? James? Do any of you want to say anything?
People just need to open their eyes, man. And if they can't see a bigger picture, people are trying to obviously bring it down then. At the end of the day, like,
it's the same normal word.
you've said your piece, do you know what I mean? Like, if people don't believe you and they do, at the end of the day, everything will come out in the end, and it will come out that it's false allegations, it's malicious. So be malicious at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? And yeah.
I personally believe that this is the way TikTok's narrative is going. I believe this is the way TikTok's moving, do you know what I mean? It's like everyone is basically just becoming a pointing the finger on what's happening, the way the platform is going and the height of it. Once I get this all dealt with and cleared, I will be removing myself off this platform completely. I will be no longer on these platforms for the simple fact I do not want to be involved in another one of these here cases again. So I do. But yeah, I've said what I needed to say. I've said the truth. I've stated the facts. And you know, you don't like it, you don't want to listen to it, or that's not my problem. I've said what I needed to say. I've stated what I needed to state. And it will be followed up by evidence backed up on this profile eventually when all these paper and file logs come back. So we're waiting on 4 more file logs coming back, and once they come back, I will be posting. But until that there happens, I've stated my side of the story, I've stated what I need to state, and I've spoke the truth. And anything else after that, yeah, it's not my issue, not my problem. But if you want to run with lies, it goes to show how much you are as a person. And that's all I can say. On that note, I'm out.
How about you, Enda?
So that was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like sort of train after 2 weeks.
Do that again?
I said it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Fiona was supposed to be going to get her pineapple juice.
Aye, Patrick's.
And we're new on Thursday.
Right, I'm gonna jump off and just have a drink and try and chill.
Right, okay then.
I'll speak to you later.
Right, okay. It's such a hard life you've got, Fiona. Honestly, I don't know how you manage.
It is.
Okay, what a day.
Seems we have a ghosty. Why not come in, ghosty?
Oh, at least we must be entertaining.
Aye.
Oh, that was a lovely cappuccino.
Yeah, it was. Well, can I leave the vape juice a little bit?
What?
Cappuccino. And hazelnut latte. Come in.
I've said much.
But it fucking tastes like when I vape it, I don't fucking know.
I think that'd be fun in a vape flavour. Never know.
It might be shite, but I'll go try it. I'll try different juices.
Right.
Next week I'll order you more of that fucking, that stuff you've got.
Right.
Wednesday for all of it.
Must have been. I love that flavour, like. So there, you got the vape shit?
But the what?
You got your vape shit?
No.
Why? It's time to give the cigarettes up and go on the vapes.
Okay.
What's it cheaper?
All right, hen, speak to you after.
What's it a lot cheaper? Unless you start buying, unless you start buying the big things like that, fucking buy.
I mean, you're obsessed.
Use the fucking blade.
You?
These are the ones that fucking started with fucking vapes.
Aye, it's my mum's.
Go try that, I'll chill you. Right.
And it did.
I did.
Right, well then.
Then I went on to another device, another.
Never tried to buy them all, did I?
I've always
That
got,
was you then.
always got to buy new ones that come out. You know?
Aye, Johnny, you need to go to a vape, hen. You'll save yourself a fortune.
I've had that too. Okay.
Honestly, having to go back to a fag now, and I mean, I smoked till I was 12.
Well, the stuff I get you, I can get it for about 70 quid. So is that right?
Aye.
And how many packet of fags can you get for that?
Exactly, sure. How many packet fags would that be?
3.5.
But see,